Hey everybody, welcome back to Stringman Guitars. Yeah, back in the underground lair we have a Gibson Les Paul Standard. So, let's take a look at this thing. It's in really good shape. Oh, hold on a second. Why? We have sharp fret ends here. Oh wow, they're really sharp down here. Well, hold on a second. The Gibson Les Paul Standard's supposed to have the nibs on the fret ends. Oh, and look at that. It's got the yellow clear coat on the binding, which it's over the nut. Okay, that's different. So let's come down here. Got a switch, got a nice flame maple. Hold on a second. Those are supposed to be posts, not screws. Let me see. If we take this and we flip it over, let's see what else. Well, somebody wants to talk to me. Looks like a one-piece mahogany back. Looks like. Anyhow, we have our neck. There's no scarf joint. Made in the USA. Gibson Deluxe tuners. But hold on a second. Gibson doesn't come with strap mounts like that. And this is pretty light for a Les Paul. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that they misspelled Chibson. It should say Chibson because this is a counterfeit. Okie dokie, boys and girls. We are looking for 12 thousandths of relief, body joint at the 8th fret. And we've got to loosen the truss rod, which will be another surprising find. I am sure we will not find a brass nut in here. In fact, we'll find that the screws are stripped out. At least of one of them. And we look in here and there is no brass nut. It looks like we have a 5mm. There's a 4. It needs released, so we're going to release it. And there's so much of the powdered crap in here. When they did their polishing, that paintbrush, just get that out of there. It's better already. Okay, let's check the truss rod, check our relief, I should say. And we want 12th thou at between the 7th and 8th fret. Okay, close enough. Let's see where that truss rod ended up. It's about right. Okay, so we're going to work from there. Okay, high fret issues. Okay. So the only place it's really totally choking out is there, but it buzzes pretty much everywhere. My fingers are cold, my pinky doesn't work. So yeah, there's buzzing everywhere. So we're going to do a level and crown. Welcome back to Stringman Guitars in the underground lair. We've got our Les Paul shaped object here, and so far we've taken the string height down to 21 thousandths at the first fret. Should be between 18 thousandths and 22 thousandths. So we took care of that, and the nut slots are pretty deep, but I didn't want to, because if you see here, the dye or stain is yellow on the edge of the binding, but it's white on top, and I didn't want to take the nut off and break that. So the only other option is to cut the slots deeper instead of filing the bottom. So anyhow, that job's done. We're taking the strings off of it, and we have to level out the fretboard so it's completely flat using a notched straight edge, so that then we can level and then crown the frets. I use a 4 thousandths just to see how flat we're making it. And we're as flat as we're going to get. That is flat. Okay. So, let's see how bad the frets are as far as So far they are level. Until you get to the 6th fret. Being as I went the extra mile to protect this nut here, I'm going to make sure that when we use the leveling beam we don't go busting that thing right off. Let's see if I have to take the pick guard off. Yep, pick guard's got to come off. Put some tape over the pickups, especially this leading edge of the pickups around. A couple reasons here. We're going to be taking a lot of metal off, and we don't want metal to get into our pickups and cause issues. So you seal off the any way for metal shards to get into there. Okay, now this here is at a 90-degree angle, and this file is designed to get rid of your sharp fret ends. Start here, stop there. I'll have to do this several times, so I'm not going to let you or make you sit through this. So that's the first step. So I just rechecked, and the neck is still flat, so we're going to use this bar. I got 320 grit paper on it, and I don't think we need to go any bigger than that because we're not taking much off. Just enough so that the high frets aren't so high. All right. This fret is so high that I can't get this one leveled yet. So it's got a sticky back, so Yeah, that's gonna get it. Let's see what that looks like. Good. Ah, it's still rocky in the middle. You pain in the butt. Ah, we got it. Okay, that's level. Now we gotta get this one. Which I don't think is that bad. This one. This one. Get this one. I don't think much needed to come off of those guys. So that be level. That not be level. It be level 3/4 the way over. Right there. Okie dokie, Smokey. Let's just double check these trouble ones down here and see if they are fixed. Because you don't want to go and get it all crowned and pretty looking and then find out that we still have a high fret. So far so good. I think we won this. Yep. Okay, now, next step. Tape off the fingerboard, get rid of the sharp fret ends. Now we got rid of this angle, but because of doing that, you got each side of the end is now sharp. So we have this little file that we use to take care of that. Okay, boys and girls, so everything's taped up and we're going to crown the files. I'm using a narrow 300 grit. Actually, I'm going to be using the 150 grit. Flip it around. As you can see, it has the diamond encrusted file part on the inside, safe edges on both sides, and it's concave to give you your crown. And what you do is you go ahead and start with your 150 grit. And I'm not in the picture. You start with your 150 grit. And since we had to make the frets so flat, keep on going until you have just a strip of blue across the top. Like that. You'll never see it in the camera, but that is what we're doing. These upper frets didn't get much taken off the top of them, so there's not much to do with them. They're pretty easy. Those nasty wide ones down there at the end, I might even have to change files. So we have, this is 150 grit. Like I said, I'm going until I see just a thin blue line. That is the crown. Then I'll come back and do the 300 grit. To take away a lot of the machine marks. See, this one was pretty flattened, so you have to do a bit more work to it. This part of the fret, I have my thin blue line. On this side, it's thicker. Okay. That's good. So I'm going to go and finish doing this and come back with the 300 and show you what that looks like. Okay, we've switched over to our get us in the movie here. Yeah, there we go. We switched over to our 300 grit. Take some more of the tool marks off. We still have the blue ridge on the top of the crown. From here, we'll go to 400 grit sandpaper, 600 grit sandpaper, 800 grit sandpaper, 1000 grit sandpaper, 1200 grit sandpaper, 1800 grit sandpaper, and then we'll hop over to micro mesh and we'll make them shine like a diamond. So I'll finish this tedium and I'll be back when we get to the other side of how sharp they're going to be. Hey everybody, welcome back to the underground layer. As you can see, we've been polishing up the frets on the Chibson. I am now switching over to the micro mesh. I got 1500, 1800, and then 3200. So we're going to 2400 grit, and we're going to finish off with 3200 grit, just so you know. And you can see at 1800 how shiny those are. I've got the grit, I got the time, I might as well do it to my best ability. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of a flyover here. Got the frets all nice and super shiny. They're all smooth, they're all flat. Not flat across, but flat to each other. And we wiped off the body. Now it's time to do the sharp fret ends. I'll show you my file for that. Hold on. So this is how we do our sharp fret ends. This file from the Evil Empire StuMac. It's a good file. It has your burr side, you have your safe side, and the other burr side. And I'll set the camera up on the tripod and I'll zoom in and show you how we do the process. It will require me taping off the body a little bit. Alrighty, so I explained the file. Now this is how it works. Take the safe edge down and put it up against the fret, and you roll over. Remember early in the video where we used that big long block and ran it along the edge? Well, that took your 90-degree angle there, but it makes these little corners of that angle sharp. So we put this file to it, and we take those and make them smooth. And you roll it over the top. So those two feel smooth and this one feels sharp. So that's how we do that. There's more. I've seen people use lemon oil, and it's just, they let it just soak in, and that is not good for the wood either. So yeah, this is more like it. So you rub it in. Make sure you get it up to the edge of the frets. Yeah, now we're talking. Alright. Depends on how dry the fingerboard is. It's how fast it will soak up that oil. Alright. Okay, we have her tuned up to pitch, but it hasn't had strings for at least 24 hours, so we're going to let it sit and acclimate to string tension, and then we're going to go ahead and do the rest of the setup. Did a couple of preemptive strikes to start with, but we'll have to finish it because I'm sure things moved. So we'll be back. Stay tuned, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, like us on Facebook. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are back from dinner, and I've got the truss rod adjusted so that we have 12 thousandths of relief at the 7th fret. and we are at 5/64 at the 12th on the low E, and we are at 4/64 on the high E. That's able to see the line under the string with no gap, and that's where we're at. Gibson wants 3/64, but this ain't no Gibson. First thing I would do on this guitar is, after all the work I did, I would replace the tuners. They're atrocious. Okay, the E is on. We've also stretched in the strings, but they're still stretching a little bit. The A is on. D is a little flat. G is on. Can't imagine they managed to do that with all those high frets. The B is on. The E is on. So I see this question pop up on forums all the time. Should the screws be facing this way, or should they be in the back? It doesn't freaking matter. Okay, the D is on. Okay, so we're fully intonated. What have we done? The nut slots were barely cut. Could drive a truck under there. So I dropped all the nut slots down because, get this out of here, because you see there with that yellow tint, it goes over the nut on both sides, and if I were to knock the nut off there and sand the bottom, that would have screwed up the finish that they slopped over the side. Don't want to do that, so we had to go down, and so they are all at 21 thousandths of an inch across. We have 12 thousandths of relief at the 7th fret. We have string height at the 12th at 5/64 and 4/64. The last thing I have to do, well, I got to check to make sure. You want to make sure that when you look down here, that none of these strings are touching the back of the saddle, and I don't even need a piece of paper to look at that and say that I can see the blue towel between the corner of the bridge and the strings. So that's fine. We have to do string height, pickup height. So these are not Allen keys. These are something that StewMac sells. I think they're actually on clearance right now. They have a set, there's a set in here that goes from bass to mandolin or banjo, and you want this to slip through there without making that noise. So let's put the flathead screwdriver back. Another thing I noticed also, whenever I was taking the truss rod cover off, the screw hole closest to the nut is stripped, so I'm going to drop a little bit of wood glue in there and a toothpick to get that to settle in there the way it's supposed to, and so that it'll be tight whenever I put the truss rod cover back on. Okay, too much. Perfect. Let's see what this looks like. It's too low. Right one. And perfect. I can go back down just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, boys and girls, other than buttoning up the pick guard and putting the pick guard back on and fixing the stripped hole for the truss rod cover, we're going to call this done. We'll let it sit overnight and then call Buddy, tell him to come and get his guitars. Wacky. That's a little better. Yeah, I think the pickups I would keep. Switch out some CTS pots in there. Put a better switch in. It's not making any noise. It's not cutting out, so that's good. Yeah, I'd replace the electronics and I'd replace the tuners, and you'd have a player. Those strap buttons are tight. So, and I just dig how much those frets shine. If you are in the greater Pittsburgh area and you would like to have your axe sharpened, please contact us at Stringman Guitars on Facebook. Send us a PM. Let's get these in here. Send us a PM on Facebook. Tell your friends. Please subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. I just hit 310 subscribers. I know that isn't big to people like my mentor Dave in Canada, but it's big for me. I'm just a small-time guy. Thank you for watching another fun-filled episode of Stringman Guitars in the Underground Lair. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. And if you live in the greater Pittsburgh area and you need your axe sharpened, drop her by. Hit me up on Facebook, PM me, or send an email. It's all on the video there. And we'll make even the Chibson guitars play well. Yeah, so take care of your neighbors and be good to yourselves. Have a great day.